All right, so welcome back to all of you. It is indeed my pleasure to be back, and I am here. My computer is back. So, yes, I'm able to record with my slides again. So, I am indeed grateful. And we are going to go right ahead into our topic: submit, resist, allow negativity to flee. And we are here today. I know some others are getting ready to join, but we are going to go ahead with those we have, those persons who are on time. And that's the important. I just want to say this quickly before I go further. It's important of consistency because some persons would have joined last week, and because of the difficulties, I wasn't on. And so we have less persons who are not sure. So keep consistent. Whatever you're doing, keep consistent. It's the key. Submit, resist, allow negativity to flee. What are you committed to? What do you spend your time doing? What are or who have you submitted to? Questions that we really need to think about. Now, looking at submission, the Oxford Dictionary says it's the action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will of or authority of another person. So we're not just looking at this. I know once we say submission, and I know there's a verse that the topic reminds you of, but we're not just looking at it from the biblical point of view. Because when we look at things only from the biblical point of view, you have some persons who just say, oh, this is not for me, or just get into this guilt mode and don't get into action mode. The Bible guides us into life. And so we're looking at life. We're looking at living. We're looking at submission to help us to move forward into our greatness. Now, Christian Leadership University claims it's not only a behavior, but it's a disposition of the heart. Imagine that. A position, a place of the heart where you can take a certain area, certain attitude. Now, they also looked at some criteria for submission. And these were some of them: meekness, dependence, proper understanding of authority, listening more than speaking, keeping away from rebellion, and being able to lead others into submission. And we're going to be going into each and every one of these. So get ready. So let's look at meekness. And although it rhymes, meekness is not weakness. Let me say that again. Meekness is not weakness. Meekness is being able to put yourself at second place to someone who you can learn from. And some persons might think, oh, I don't want to be second place. But when there's somebody who is a step ahead of you in your learning, who is a step ahead of you in where you want to go, it's important to allow that person to know that, listen, I understand that you're ahead of me and I want to learn from you. That's meekness. Meekness is saying, you know more than me in this issue, and I want to reach where you are. I want to get there. I want to be able to do it like you do it, and probably even better. But you have to have a certain level of meekness, submission to reach to that place. Here it talks about being humble, humility. And some persons see it in a negative way. No, being humble is just saying, yes, I know that I have some ability. Yes, I know I can do it, but I need to learn from you. So I am here now, not as the authority in this. I'm here as the student. That's humility. I'm here as the student. I'm here to learn. I'm here to develop. I'm here to move forward. And we also want to look at dependence. Dependence is relying on someone else to show you the way. Dependence does not have to be negative. It's depending on somebody to guide you. When you work with a coach, even in Pull Power now, our coaching services, we help persons. We say to them, give them suggestions as where to go, give them suggestions as how to take the next step. And so persons will ask, and we are able to help them, able to even go in their mind, because we don't focus on the how, we focus on the next step. And so we are the ones who worry about the how. We are the ones who worry about getting there. And a lot of times you have persons who are able to get there because they are dependent on their coach. Remember, after a while, you will be able to be independent, but there are times when you have to be dependent to move where you are going, to allow somebody else to say, yes, this is it. I don't know if anybody has ever been going anywhere and you're not sure of where you're going and you're dependent on that GPS. Sometimes it's the worst thing for me because, especially in Jamaica, in some areas, there are some roads that the GPS calls them streets and they're like tracks. They're like tracks. And so they take you in some journeys, in some places that you would never have taken your vehicle if you knew what the road looked like. But GPS says turn right, and you are so dependent that you just have to turn right because you don't know where you are going. I remember my journeys to camp, and at camp, each time the GPS takes me somewhere, I mark that road off and say, okay, I will never turn there again. And so when GPS tells me to turn left, I go ahead and then I trust Mr. GPS again because this is a different way. It will take me to my destination. I know it will, but I do not know this way. And so I made a choice. I'm not going that direction, but I'm going here. And when I go there, I'm back independent on GPS. Now I've reached the stage that I know the way so well that I choose my path and I say, GPS, I do not have to depend on you. But for the time I was dependent, I was able to choose the road that would best suit me. And that helped me. So I'm grateful for the time. I'm grateful for the persons who would have driven before me. And I just blindly drive, looking at where I'm going so that if they're not there the next time that I'm able to go, I just blindly go before them. If they turn into somebody's yard, I'm gone there too because I don't know the way. So let us remember dependence is not always a negative thing. Proper understanding of authority is another criteria for submission. Now, a lot of persons don't understand authority. When you understand authority properly, when you understand that this is the person who knows the thing, this is the person who is an expert at the thing, then you kind of just simmer, as we would say in Jamaica, calm down, cool yourself, and allow the person with the authority to take the lead. You don't know how to do it well, and this person is there sitting and watching you. And you don't say, just come. When I go to some meetings, when I'm explaining some things, if I look down and I see somebody who knows it much more than me, either I'm going to use them as a guide or I'm going to say, and we'll ask this person to come and explain this part because I know they are a better authority on the topic than I am. Or I get the information from them and then I go back. So even in my counseling sessions, there are some topics that clients come to me with. And before the second session, no, I'm not calling any name. No, I'm not giving any details. I will say, come, this person is a special type of grief. Help me. And I'll call somebody who I know is very good at grief counseling. Or I'll call somebody who I know is very good at working with person with drugs. If it is a situation where I can refer them to deal with that person, then I do that. But if that is not an option, then I go to them and I get the information. I do the consultation, and I am not the consultant at that time. I am the person receiving and learning so that I can better understand how to help my client, how to help the person I am working with. Because in everything, for those who have seen my status, seen my thing, is giving more in 2024 and beyond, not just 2024. I want to make sure that I am giving value when I do anything I do. And that is why I've decided to even do these webinars. They are not easy. I do a lot of research to put them together. So those persons who think, oh, she's just talking off her head. Yes, some of the things I will be saying out of my head, but it is based on the research I have done because you are important and I value you. I value your time. And so I take the time to report. right? So yes, sometimes we have to call on the specialist to deal with certain topics, to deal with certain issues, because they know the thing. So there are a lot of guidance counselors. There are even psychologists who will call on me for some areas, will call on me for some topics, especially working with children or working with certain relationship issues, working with persons who have gone through divorce. There are persons who will call on me because they know that those areas I'm good at. And there are a lot of other areas that persons call on me. But we need to understand the proper understanding of authority to know when this is not my thing. This is not something I'm an expert with. I need help. So that's an important aspect of submission, knowing the proper understanding of the authority. We need to also listen more than speaking. There is a reason why we have two ears and one mouth. Some of us think we have two, three, four mouths, and so we keep talking, 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 talking. We need to listen. When you go to a coach, let me use my example. When I go to my coach, because I prefer to work with persons who have their coach, and so I have my coach. When I go to my coach, I am there to listen. I'm not there to say, oh, this is the way it's done, and this is no, I'm there to learn. Yes, I will give my opinion on certain things if I want to make sure that this is the way it is done. This is the way, or there are things I want to show that, yes, I'm learning, but I'm not just going to go there and talk, talk, talk. I will give my introduction to whatever it is that I've been asked to share on today, and then I listen. Because my coach is ready to fill me with more, and I don't want to miss a beat because I was talking. Because as a professional coach, we listen too. And so if it is a situation where you want to talk, we're going to listen. But remember, there is a time slot that you're working with. So you have to know, I have to know, if I want to be the person who takes over the session and talks for the entire session, how would that help me? So when I am submitting to authority, I listen more than I am speaking, because I need to understand that submission is a part of that. And if I want to reach where I'm going to reach, I need to be able to learn. And so I have to know it's time now for me to listen. Another criteria is avoid rebellion. It's not every drum knock that you're going to jump on. Be careful of who you follow. Some of us, because there is a discussion in our work staff area or among our friends, we just jump on it, and we don't understand that with submission, we can't be rebelling. We can't be just going with every wind that blows. And right now, I'm real cool here because the wind is blowing and it feels nice. I'm on the outside section now, and it's real cool out here. So you have to go. I can't just go with every wind. I have to know that it's a wind that is taking me where I want to go. Be careful of your conversations. Are your conversations supporting the person you want to be? You can't just jump everything. Not everybody is where you are with your personal development. Not everybody has the mindset you have. And you have worked with somebody, you have been dealing with a higher power, you have been dealing and you've been hearing and you've been training and you've been reading and you know better, yet you go and you hear somebody else saying something and you go right back. No, keep on your track. Be careful of the thoughts you feed. Negative thoughts do not need help. Hello. Negative thoughts come naturally. We need to be able to turn them, reframe them, as we'd say in counseling, and change them to the positive thoughts. So you hear that this story of the man who went to the island to sell shoes. When he went there, nobody had on shoes. And so it was two men, right? Two men. One of them turned back and said, doesn't make sense. Nobody here needs shoes. The other one turned back too, but he turned back with a different attitude. He said, wow, everybody here needs shoes. And so he was thinking to go back for more shoes because this was a huge market. It's very important for us to be careful what thoughts we feed. Be careful where we are going with our conversations. Not everything we have to follow. Now, The ability, this is another criteria, the ability to lead others into submission. I have helped others because I have been helped. What do you do when you have been helped? So I am here even now, helping you, helping others to understand the importance of submission, to understand the importance of following. These geese follow each other to wherever they are going. If one turns wrong, everybody's going to turn, because it's submission. It's knowing that I trust who is before me. I trust who is leading me. That is why it's important when you are going to submit, that whoever you are submitting to lines up with your values, lines up with your belief system, lines up with your goals and where you are going. So you are to learn and have the ability to help others to understand that, no, this is time for us to listen. No, stop talking. I need to listen. You need to listen too. Helping them to move forward. Now, what are some of the things that we need to resist? And there are a lot of things that we need to resist. One of the first things is worry. How does worry help? How? How does it help? We sit and we worry about this, we worry about that. And I use the COVID thing here because so many of us were worried about COVID. But as sad as it was, we couldn't help anybody in any way. We had to just do what we needed to do. The worry didn't help. Worry caused more persons to get hurt more than anything. And the question is there, can it hurt? Yes. One of the things, even when persons get ill with certain illnesses, especially terminal illnesses, you will have the terminal illness in your body, whatever it is, cancer, whatever autoimmune system disease, whatever it is, and you're not aware, years it is in the body. And as soon as you're diagnosed, you know, this is happening 1 week, 2 weeks, that's it. Because of worry. That is why a positive mindset is important. A mindset to say, I am going to keep going. I am going to move forward. Worry does not help because worry cannot change the statute of anything. Worry cannot change the position of anything. Worry clouds your mind and causes you not to be able to think freely. Worry stops you from being productive. Worry does not pay the bills. Worry does not pay the rent. Worry does not take you where you're going. Why worry? Even the Bible says, do not worry. If he takes care of the birds and the grass, how much more will he take care of you, O ye of little faith? Stop worrying. Stop worrying. Doesn't make sense. Another thing we need to stop doing is doubt. Why not choose faith? Why not believe without ourselves? And we have all these questions in our head. And I'm not free of this fully. Yes, there are times I doubt things, but that's something I'm working on because it has to be in my past. It cannot keep holding back. I have to push, and you have to push too, because doubt will come. When you don't see the actual thing before you, it will come. But that is the power of faith, knowing that even though you don't see it, it will happen. Let me ask you, if you're journeying to somewhere, do you see the place you are going before you? No. You're going to be seeing a road. Sometimes it's a terrible road, but you know where you're going, and so you keep moving forward. You don't turn back and say, oh, this is not it. I don't make sense. I can't see where I'm going. Even though you know you have miles ahead and it would not be possible to see where you're going. But when you have faith and you know where you're going and you know your destination and you believe in your destination, you're going to keep moving. You're going to keep moving forward. So let us let go and resist doubt. Resist doubt. Resist worry. Resist worry. Don't let it take you back. We need to also resist anxiety. Say, I resist anxiety. Anxiety can only hold you back. Sometimes you want the thing to be done and it's just not happening. And you start to say, oh my God, it's not happening. And and you start panicking. Some persons end up having what mimics a asthma attack. But then we have to just calm them down with the breathing. Calm them down. Sometimes we get ourselves sick with anxiety because the body gets so much used to being anxious that it starts having a disorder. Yes, there is such a thing as an anxiety disorder, but it can be worked on, it can be worked through. So it's important to resist the urge to get anxious and just calm ourselves and say, okay, like I spoke about last week, one step at a time. Stop looking at the entire journey and look at the next step, because guess what? That next step, you can make it. That next step, you can do it. When you look at the big goal, it seems overwhelming, it seems too much. Just look at the next step. And when you've made that step, look at the next step. And when you've made that step, look at the next step. This one is always there. That feeling to give up on your dreams. That feeling to say, I've tried. Tried what? Try, keep trying, try again, try again, try again, try again. And don't just try, do it, get it done. A lot of the persons who reach where they want to reach did not do it the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth time. I think Thomas Edison did not get it until over like 10,000 times, but he did not see it as failure. He saw it as ways he learned not to do the thing. So let us change our attitude to that feeling when we feel like it's not working, when we feel like it's not happening, when we feel like, boy, this is too much, it doesn't make sense. Let me just stick to this thing I'm doing and stop fooling myself that I can do better. You can do better. And that thought of change is only in your mind because you were designed to do better. So stop giving yourself silly excuses. Yes, I just called your excuse silly. Stop giving yourself silly excuses and get to where you're going. If you need to make a move to start a business, start it. Just the next step. What's the next step? What's the step after that? Giving up on your dreams is not an option. Resist it. Resist it. It's not an option. And now we need to think of how is it that we allow negativity to flee, and stop paying attention to me and my bike. It's a bike you must focus on, moving, all of that fleeing, because that picture was just a picture. I didn't go with the bike. So all those who thought I was riding around, gotcha. So we need to allow negativity to flee. Whatever it is that's holding us back, we need to allow it to flee. It's all about our mindset. How am I thinking? How am I keeping myself positive even when everything around me seems negative? How am I keeping myself positive? Ask yourself, can you afford to keep losing? Can you afford to keep away from that dream, that goal that you're working towards? How is your life going to be 10 years from now if you do not keep moving? Are we going to live in regret? Erik Erikson speaks about the stages of development, and the last stage is integrity versus despair, where persons look back on their life and they can either look back and feel proud and say, wow, look at all I've accomplished, or they can look back and say, oh my God, look at all I didn't do. Look at all the things I regret not doing. Look at all the things I could have done, but I was afraid. Let that not be you. Go after your dreams, go after your goals. Feel proud that you tried. Feel proud that you did not give up on yourself. This is a lesson from Bob Proctor. He talks about different mental trips. So a lot of times we're not sure of where to go. We're not sure of what to do. And so we have this ignorance. And because of that, the anxiety comes, the fear. Oh my God, how is it going to work? What's going to happen? Remember, in personal development, we do not focus on the how, because we don't know, but we focus on the what and where and when we get it done. The how is none of our business. None of our business. Even in the Bible, it says, trust the Lord, don't lean to your own understanding, because the how is not your business. Then because of that, you're trying to suppress and you hold yourself back. And suppression leads to depression because you're feeling down. Because guess what? You are unaccomplished. And depression leads to disease because all that you're holding back, all that you're holding down is eating you out from the inside, eating on your mind, eating on your body. And disease leads to decay and disintegration because you're there saying, boy, I could have done this. Why didn't I do that? And it causes you to feel down. So let's get on the other side, the positive mental trip, where you go from a place of understanding, understanding that you can do it, understanding that you can win, understanding that the biggest thing of all is it is possible. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, I want to tell you today, it is possible. Faith is important. Believe it is possible. Believe you can do it. Believe you were created for more than this. And then a sense, when you practice faith, it leads to a sense of well-being. And well-being allows you to express yourself. Your creative juices start flowing, and you start to think of those business ideas. You start to think of the next step and the next step and the next step, and you're excited to do it. And so you accelerate, you're moving ahead, you're stepping ahead because you're keeping positive, you're keeping goal. And because of that, your mind can be at ease because you're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. And doing it allows you to be creative. The first thing God said about himself was not that he was God. He said he created heaven and the earth. We were born to be creative. Something Myron Golding always reminds us. We were born in the image of our creator. It's our birthright to be creative. And we are going to suffer. We are going to feel bad. We are going to feel unaccomplished if we don't create. Choose happiness in all that is happening around you. Choose happiness. And by happiness, you are to choose you. This is me being all.
Mr. Picture
Choose to be happy. Never give up. Don't ever give up, no matter what your goal, no matter what your dream, no matter how it seems hard, no matter how it seems like it's not going to work. Don't give up. Don't give up. Remember I told you about my Portobello story? Don't give up. Yes, that's where I was going. And I stopped right at the corner before. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Notice that crane. Notice that frog. Notice that mouse. Don't give up. James 4:7. And yes, all those who guessed that was the motivation for this thought, that was the motivation for this idea. It says, submit yourselves then to God, because he's the ultimate. Resist the devil, all the negativity, and he will flee from you. It will go. So let us remember that these principles are not just Rosette principles. These are godly principles that we have applied to life, that we have applied to our realities. Submit, resist, and allow the flee. Submit to the right authority. Resist all you know that can stop you from reaching your goal. Don't hold on to the past when the future is calling you, and it's calling you. It's calling you. It's calling you. Step into your greatness, because guess what? You deserve it. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and blessings to you all. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you so much for watching. Have a super, super accomplishing time while you submit to your greatness. Submit. Resist. Submit to the right authority. Resist the negativity and get on with your business in moving ahead, moving where you need to go. Yes, it is possible, and it is for you. So get it. Blessings to you all. And remember, tune in again on Sunday for the next recording. Blessings.